Welcome to Deep Thought. Jealousy is useless. Jealousy is useless. You know one thing, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna share something with about myself. And it's incredible because I think back to it and I'm like, wow, I've never felt that emotion. That's jealousy. That's one thing I've never felt for anyone. Never felt jealousy. Never, never. Even if somebody was with a woman that I wanted badly, never felt jealous if they were with them. I was just like, okay, well done. Because one of the things I always focused on my own self and I always focused on the things I could do. Now, some people would call that conceited, cocky, arrogant, confident. I don't know. Didn't matter. Whatever the case, I never begrudged somebody else what they got. The most I would do is figure out how they get it or even learn from them. I might ask them. I say, well, how were you able to do this? Oh, okay, teach me. Seriously. But that's me. That's me. And I share that just because that's one thing I've had to figure out the whole jealousy piece by watching other people and their reactions and how they were doing. That's one of there's many things I can't say I know about personally, but that's a prominent thing. And I'm not saying this to brag or something, but just to talk about it overall, because trust me, I've seen it a lot. You know how you see something a lot, and to the point, even if you never personally experienced it, you like, that's not a good thing. I don't want to experience it, and enough to tell other people. And I'm telling y'all now, jealousy is useless because you see it. You see it definitely. And I think I might have touched on this one way or the other. Well, I think I touched on this when I talked about haters and stuff that you get on someplace just in this platform. How many people make videos or try to bring down somebody off of something? And if you really look at what they're talking about, it don't really have anything. They trying to bring them down. It don't even have anything to do with the subject if you listen. See, okay, if a person is talking about a certain subject and the person goes after the person, they should, if they correct in going after the person, they're going after the subject. They'll even say, I don't have anything personal against him. I have something against this subject. And usually when they do that, they don't say anything about the person. They say, look, I'm talking about this. But haven't you seen those times people go after somebody and it has nothing to do with the subject matter? In fact, they might be talking about something and they'll try to put down the subject matter, but it's really based on the person, because if someone they liked or were cool with said the exact same thing, they wouldn't have a problem. And see, all it is jealousy. All it is jealousy. I mean, you see it on YouTube, definitely, but everybody's seen it in life. Everybody's seen it in life. Somebody try to break it down. I don't like this person or something. It's jealousy. Like I've talked, like when I was working in this gym in some gym sales, and I remember I sold memberships to this office, and there was a bunch of, it was one group of people in the office. And then it was a young lady, a very, very extremely naturally attractive young lady who she signed up too because she was in the office, but she never worked out with the rest of them. And they didn't really like her. And I had a chance to talk with her. The woman was very sweet, very sweet. But you could tell it was jealousy because she was, like I said, she was like a natural roll out of bed 9, very attractive naturally, also very sweet. But you could see the jealousy. Because they couldn't, here's something. If you hear somebody say something about somebody or they don't like this person, ask them specifically why. Did this person do something evil? Seriously, and if the person did something evil to them in particular, boom. But a lot of times people dislike somebody they don't know. They've never talked with this person. They never had anything more than, at most, the person might have responded to a comment, but then you still don't know what you did to bring the comment on, And so I'm like, wait a minute. What good is it doing? Because think about it, when people get jealous, what do? They develop a hatred of the person that they're jealous of. They develop a dislike. They develop an obsession. But it's useless, though, for one simple reason. How's that helping you? And when I say you, I don't mean you in particular, but you know what I mean. You know, how's that helping the person? How about that? How's that helping the person? Okay, you tell this person like you dislike them or something. Okay. Now what? Does that make the person who's expressing the dislike or the jealousy or the whatever better? No, I want y'all to think about that. Like, say if any one of y'all is experiencing jealousy of a person, okay, and it's not a good one, and then you get to that point, and this is why jealousy is dangerous. You get to the point you want to like bring the person down. You want to find something about them. Like YouTube again. There's been plenty of times I would see in one person's comments, and they'll say, like, you know how people go on at each other, and then they'll go to somebody's like a random page and say, well, what do you think about this person? It's like, well, okay, now what? Okay, say they said something bad about the person, all of this. Would that make your life any better? Now, I'm serious on that. Would that make your life any better? Okay, say this person is say there's a man, right? He's a millionaire. He gets a bunch of fine women. He gets a bunch of beautiful women. He got it. I mean, just stuff is under control for him. You know, he's doing all this stuff. And then you get some people jealous and they say, well, he just sees that and all of that. Okay. Does that change your situation? Because let's be real, it's the jealousy that person's in that position. Does that make yours any better? Hypothetically yours. I'm serious. It's useless. It's like, what does it do? Does it build anything? Now, the only way I would say jealousy would be good if it inspires somebody to actually do better in their own life. But we know that is that the case. I've never seen that. Like I said, never really experienced it. And I'm thinking hard, too. I'm thinking hard. So, but I've never seen it. I've seen people talk trash about someone, and I say, well, from what I'm seeing, that person's still doing their thing. Let's use the YouTube example. All the times this is like some very popular content creators. Y'all can just pick one. And I've seen people go in on them, talk all this trash, and then I look at the content creators, I'm like, yeah, but they still doing the same thing. I haven't seen a dip in their popularity. Indeed, somebody might talk trash about them, actually make them more popular. And I'm just like, wow, it's wasteful. I'm going to tell you something now. And I started out talking about, like, never had that jealousy thing. I was too focused on self. I was too selfish. I was like, oh, he got it good. I'm worried about myself. That's one of the areas people need to just worry about themselves. Don't worry about the next person. The most you can do for them, if they succeed, the most you can do is pay attention to them. And if you can learn from them, if they're doing something that you would like to do, find out how they doing it and see what you can learn. But trying to break them down, that doesn't do anything. That's short-sighted. That's also a waste of time. Because you get some people trying to break somebody down and they spending so much time and energy, they not working on their own stuff. You know, like I said, that's when you know, it's good to be altruistic in life and help other people, to care about other people. But when you talk about your success, there's some level you just got to worry about yourself. Don't worry about the next person like that. Most you can do is learn from it. And if you feel some type of way against someone else, you got to ask yourself, okay, why? Especially if you never met that person. I want you to think about that. Now, if that person, like I said, if that person did something to you to harm you directly, I can see the problem, but that's not jealousy. I can see the problem. Or if they actively interfere in your life, okay, yeah, deal with it. But if you don't know that person, and a lot of times, that's the interesting thing I've seen. People be jealous of somebody they've never even met. And the person that they jealous of and they wishing harm on, they wouldn't notice anything about this, the person that's jealous of them. It's useless, y'all. It's useless. And, it is useless. So anyway, that's all I have. Y'all have a good weekend. And I want y'all to really think on this. Think on this one, seriously. Don't waste your time worrying about somebody else to that extent. All right? So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.